To the Texas Goat Radio Show. I am your host, Matorius. Today's date is 4/19/23, and this is Owen on Rumble, and he is about to explain his side of the story whenever it comes to his crowdfunding expedition for Beartaria.
The fact that we crowdfunded campgrounds to do community activities is one of those things. It's kind of like being anti-vaxxer or flat earth, whatever. People try and use it to discredit anything you've ever done. Okay. I never made any money on crowdfunding anything. So it's like, I'll show something my wife and I accomplished, and the trolls will come in and be like, oh, from other money you stole. It's the same with being a globe skeptic. You can say anything about whatever, and someone just pops in and just says, flat earther, mentally insane. Or if you're hesitant to take a vaccine, they're like, oh, you want your children to die. So I addressed the flat earth thing in a pretty long that's now...
Okay, so he is pandering to the masses. What he's referring to is a Beartaria. He got on a live stream, and this was a couple years ago, and what it was, in all fairness, was a brainstorming idea about some crowd-funded land that he was wanting to buy, and he had already picked it out. It was $1.5 million. He needed $2 million, and so he was pitching the idea to his followers, the Bears, that he needed $2 million in a week in order to purchase this land. And there was a compound on it. Now, one thing he is not telling you in this little clip from his time on Twitter and Rumble is that he was telling his people to donate money for this land under false pretenses because he was promising all sorts of things that he obviously could not and would not deliver on. This went on for about a week from what I understand, and he said in the next stream that he was able to raise 10% of his goal. His goal was $2 million. 10% of $2 million is $200,000. And whenever he is asked how much money he has made throughout the next portions of his live streams, he always sticks with, besides that one moment and then maybe a couple other ones whenever he is honest with how much money he was able to raise, he says that he only made $70,000. And then at one point, he says that he only made $40,000. So it is quite impossible to know exactly how much money he made. And whenever he says he didn't benefit at all, he's lying, because the original story as it was going on, my cat's not a big fan of Owen. He says that 10%, this was a more fine-tuned impression of what Beartaria would be, 10%. So if it was 200 acres, then 20 acres would be designated to the Bears. That would be Beartaria. 10%, that means 90% of the crowd-funded land would be his land. And make no mistake, he always tells you all the land is his land because there has to be someone in charge. And at one point, in irony, he says you gotta make sure that one person that's in charge isn't a egomaniac, which if you go back and watch his live streams, pretty much uncut on Milker Nation, you will see exactly the man that you're dealing with, Owen Benjamin Karras Troy Smith, the 47th. Compare him to other cult leaders, and it's, if the shoe fits, wear it. This is just a friendly video to tell people that they need to check the apple for worms, and the apple of Owen definitely has worms. This is the Texas Go Radio Show, and I'm your host, Matorius. As always, stay free, my guys.